Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Matters Monday because art matters. Um, we are every Monday diving into this wonderful book by Neil Gaiman, Art Matters because your imagination can change the world. The illustrations in this book are done by Chris Riddell. And if you remember, last year I did 100 days of hugs. Um, And Chris Riddell is the artist of the book that 100 Days of Hugs or 100 Hugs. So last Monday we did Ideas Spring Up where you don't expect them, like weeds, and are difficult to control. I believe that repressing ideas spreads ideas, and it's basically a boot stomping down on the dandelions and the dandelion seeds flying all over the place. Today's page is I believe that people and books and newspapers are containers for ideas, but that burning people who hold the ideas will be as unsuccessful as firebombing the newspaper archives. It is already too late. It is always too late. The ideas are not, or the ideas are already out, hiding behind people's eyes, waiting in their thoughts. They can be whispered, they can be written on walls in the dead of the night, they can be drawn. So, what I take from that is no matter what we do, um, there's always ideas out there. We always have ideas in us, whether they're ideas that people understand or people agree with or people want to hear. Those ideas are always going to be there. And if we put those ideas out in art, they can never be silenced. And that's what this picture depicts is that person leaning on his desk drawing all of his ideas. So we will be using Inktense for this page today because it is the week of Inktense. And I will be using a colorless blender to activate the Inktense. So let's start with his shirt. So I think I need a nice green for his shirt, maybe. Maybe not. Let's see. Trying to decide green or blue. Well, I kind of like this greeny blue here. So let's do 1220. Should be right here. Haha, I am good. I got it on the first try. And we're going to sharpen this up. Now this is a darker color of dark blue-green. And I'll switch you over to the close-up camera here in just a second. And we'll get started on this. So, as you know, most of the first part of this book is all about ideas and oppression and things like that. And it's just the first part of this book. This book doesn't go down this entire road all the way through, but it's a good place to start. Ideas are oppressed all over the place, all the time, um, because ideas are scary to people. And when you're afraid of an idea or afraid of somebody's opinion, in my opinion, um, it can make things very stressful in life. So my best policy and the best policy I use in situations where somebody doesn't have the best opinion of me, or if I don't have the best opinion of somebody, because sometimes I do. Sometimes I do get a bad impression or a wrong impression about somebody. The best thing that you can do is either distance yourself from them and walk away from the situation, ignore the situation, and hope that it goes away. But if they get to a point where it's no longer ignorable, no longer acceptable, or start attacking things that are no longer ideas but other people, um, it's time to you know put things in place, whether it be friends, family, or whatnot that they're attacking. It's time to put things in place where either if depending upon how they're attacking and what they're doing, whether that you not need to get in other outside entities involved or get involved yourself. But sometimes it takes that little push of mama bear type thing to stand up and say, look, that's enough of this. I'm not going to take this anymore. However, there are things that we're not used to, like I'm not used to. I'm not used to dealing a lot with people that say nasty things about me on the internet or about my family or that's not something that I'm used to whatsoever. Um, so when it does happen, it's a shocker to me, and it's not the way that we used to put out our ideas before it was the internet. So being an internet personality now or an internet content provider um, does give them the fuel. And I just have to remember that not everybody is sweet and nice, and some people are just um, not able to be sweet and nice, and that's just something that you have to accept sometimes. All right, now I'm going in with a lighter blue-green color, so I need this one. So I need number, no, oh yeah, that'll do. Number 1300. And I'm just going to do a little bit of it here. Like I said, I am going to activate this. So that first one that I used was 1220. No, 1210. Nope, 1220. So 120, which is green aquamarine. And the one I'm using now is teal green, which is 1300, which is a light aquamarine color. So that's what the book is, that the basis of the first part of this book is about is they're your ideas. You can maintain your ideas, you can say your ideas, you can shout your ideas from the rooftops. Nobody has the right to oppress that. Nobody has the right to say you can't think that way. You can't talk that way. You can't color that way. You can't, there's no can't in the world of art, which is fantastic. I love, love, love that concept. Because some of us express ourselves specifically in art. Because we don't know how to express ourselves any other way, or we don't have any other means of expressing ourselves. So I love this book because it allows me the the voice that sometimes does get oppressed with um, being a content provider. Because yes, I have the ability and the right to say I don't like something or I don't agree with something. However, sometimes people get very upset with it when you do say that, and then you have to be very careful and very cautious of what you say afterwards, because those people can break your channel. They can make you disappear from the content creating world. And I refuse to allow somebody to state that my ideas, my thoughts are invalid. And that's what a lot of people should do. A lot of people should say no. It doesn't matter if you don't like what I'm saying, as long as I'm allowed to say it. It's just like if somebody else says something else, that is valid, and a valid opinion, and not just. There's a difference between having a valid opinion and just outright being mean. And sometimes people are just saying things just to be mean. Sometimes people have an outright valid opinion, a knowledgeable, valid opinion, and they are welcome to that opinion. But it also gives me the ability to stand up when somebody's just being outright mean and say, okay, that's just uncalled for. So, and it does happen. It happens, quite a bit behind the scenes sometimes. And, I make sure that that's not a part of the community that I deal with. I will walk away from that part of the community because it's not something that I enjoy. All right, so now we're going to take our Koi coloring brush pen, and we're just going to activate. And I'm just doing it very, very lightly because this paper is not meant for watercolor. It is not meant for a wet medium at all. So that's why I'm not using water on this, and why I'm using the brush pen. And I'm trying not to go over the lines too much because like I said, the ink on this book is meant for reading, is not meant for coloring. So when you're activating your ink, if you're going to use Inktense in here, just be very careful um, not to put a lot of pressure and not to put a lot of liquid. Like as you can see there, the ink from the front is coming through. Now, once it dries, that won't be there, I hope. I haven't colored in here with the Inktense, but I thought about just doing it in regular pencils, and I thought, no, it's water month, and it's my thing this month. It's not a comfortable thing with me, and I'm going to make sure that I step out of the comfort zone and see how far out the comfort zone this book will let us go. Because, like I said, it's not meant for watercolor. So I've activated the entire thing now. I'm going to take the uh, hot air gun. And I'm going to dry that out. And as you can see now, the ink from the front page has not come all the way through. It was just a illusion of the wet paper. Thank goodness, because I was a little worried there. I'm not going to say I was not. All right, so now we're going to go in with number 240. Let's see, that's 220, which I may have already over here. Let's try to make sure I have this 230. All right, where did I put it? That's 220. Oh dear, have I moved it? 240. There we go. Which is sienna gold. Because it's the back of this gentleman's head and just his bald spot and his ears and whatnot, we're just going to give him just a little bit of a tan color on his skin here. And then we'll even it out with a bit of pink and then his hair color. So this is sienna gold. And then we've got his arm here as well. The skin color, skin tone in Inktense is intensive. It's not something that I would. It's not something that you do on its own, but I have seen it done, so I know it can be done. This is the first time I've ever done skin tone with Inktense, so. Alright, and that is like so yucky. Hold on a second, let me fix that. My goodness. It's so bright. I don't know why it's that bright. So let's turn that down. Where is it? There it is. Let's turn down the contrast there. Turn down the brightness. That's better. And turn up the sharpness a little bit. There, that's a little bit better. I don't know why that was so bright. That's so bright you gotta wear shades. Let's zoom you in just a touch too. Maybe that'll help too. There. That's better. That's much better. It's like, why does it look so bleh? Because I had the brightness up too high. Alright, now we're going to take number 720. It should be this one, maybe. That's 610. Should be this one, which is Thistle. And yeah, I have no idea with color theory. So I don't know if these are the correct colors. It's just colors that I gravitate towards for shadows and stuff like that. Don't ask me color theory. Poor Ashley, she did a wonderful video this weekend coloring as the fantastic Emily, trying to channel Emily's soft touch. And she did a little bit of color theory trivia, and I failed horribly. I did not pass a single one. I did not get any of them right. But I don't follow color theory because it's just way too technical. I just like to put pencil to paper. And that's perfectly fine. I use my color wheel if I get stuck on a color. Um, I try to put what looks good with what looks good, and I go with it. So that's the skin tone all done up. Going to take the activation brush and just going to wipe it, make sure that there's no blue on it. And then we're going to activate into that pink first, that thistle, and we're going to drag it down into that yellow tan color and mix those colors up a little bit into the center just to give it that pinky skinny tone. Otherwise it looks very yellow. And I gotta put a little bit more of that thistle in here. Not really that much, but it around a little bit. And a little tiny bit up here. In his little bald spot. Not enough to completely remove the yellow tan tone, but enough to give it a bit of a skin tone. And then we're going to put that one away, and then we're going to dry that, and then we're going to do the hair. Now the reason why I'm drying this in between each application is because not only is the paper really, really, really thin, I don't want it to get saturated. And I don't want to move those colors onto areas that I'm going to put the color for the next color. So I'm going to use Madder Brown. And we're going to do his hair. Like I said, this is a very, very small amount of space. So any of that color that is there is going to get mixed in quite a bit. So now I'm going in with some saddle brown just for that lightness, to give it that light effect. And then we might go back through again with the saddle brown to, or with the madder brown, sorry, to give that flick ability again. So I'm just going to activate that with little flicks. Trying not to over activate different areas. Like that. So we're still sticking with the hair color underneath. And giving a few little ticks of, let's see, is that, yeah, of a red brown for his hair color as well. And I know that doesn't look quite right there, but that's the way it was drawn, and I don't know how to fix it. So we're going to have to go with it, but that's okay. Just going through and activating all of the different little bits. And then once again, we're going to blow dry it. Alright, so there is his person done. Now we're just going to check. Now it does go through to the other side, but that's okay. I'm going to be using a wax base on this side, so I will be able to clean that up and cover that up. So it does go through the page, so if you are going to be doing this, just remember it is going to go through the page. So we're going to do a very light layer. I might actually want, no, I don't want to switch. I hate that. My brain sits there going, well, you might want to switch from that and just go with something else. And my brain, I keep on going, well, but. So I'm going in with tan at this point for the table, which is number 1720. And I think I'm just not going to activate it. I think I'll just color it, but I won't activate it. And that will save the rest of that picture on the other side. Right? The only problem with Inktense, if you don't activate it, is it looks very dull. But I kind of knew it was going to go through, so that other page I can fix. So and of course Chris has given us our shadow areas and that sort of thing, so that's what we're going to work with on there. And we're going to do that with a little bit of oak for the shadow areas. Like that. And next Monday you'll see how I fix that other page. Basically what I'll use is I'll use a wax-based pencil and just go right over top of the ink that's bled through the page and utilize that ink for shadows or highlights or anything like that. So it's just using what is already there. And because we have gone through and given a bit of um, trouble to the page there, we're going to use that. Now I'm going in with a bit of mustard on the pages here, just to give that parchment look. And then we're going to go in with amber and do the pencils. Then we're going to go in with some gray for the kneaded eraser, because we all know the kneaded eraser is gray. With some white on there for the silver with some pink. Let's grab a little bit of pink. So now I've used, the gray that I'm using is neutral gray, which is number 2120. The pink I'm using is a little bit of red violet. And then a little touch of tan for the wood of the pencils here. And then we need some black for the ink. Now, let's see what, because we have ink black, so this is ink black. So we're going to do the ink in ink black. And I think we'll do the lid in ink black too. Leaving a little bit of area there. And we're going to do his paintbrush in black as well. leaving a touch for light. Which one's this one? It's oak. Ah! Well, that one just hit the floor. I need 2110 is what I'm looking for. And this is Payne's Gray. We're going to use it for our highlight color on the black. And there we have it. And that is the rest of the picture. Now we're going to very, very, very carefully activate some of this so that it doesn't look so bleh. Like I said, just be really careful not to put down too much for it to bleed through. Otherwise, there's going to be no fixing it. Like so. And there we have it. So let's take a look on the back here and see how bad it is. See, it's not too bad. So as you can probably see here, there's some browns and some blues, which is actually quite simple to fix with the colors that I'm going to cover that with. So it is not a problem at all. Okay, so that is all done. So we have completed this page, which once again it says, I believe that people and books and newspapers are containers for ideas, but that burning people who hold the ideas will be as unsuccessful as firebombing the newspaper archives. It is already too late. It is always too late. The ideas are already out, hiding behind people's eyes, waiting in their thoughts. They can be whispered. They can be written on walls in the dead of the night. They can be drawn. And we have a wonderful person there drawing different things and different ideas that are in his mind. Absolutely fantastic saying, fantastic page, full of very vivid descriptions, very vivid thoughts and ideas. This writer is very prolific, I do believe is the word I'm trying to think of. He's very passionate about his writing and the ideas that we are putting out into the communities. And of course, Chris is just a wonderful, wonderful artist and illustrates just perfectly for every page. All right, guys, that will be it for today. This, of course, is Neil Gaiman, Art Matters, because your imagination can change the world. It is, of course, illustrated by Chris Riddell, and it is available on Amazon. They have been sold out recently, so keep an eye on it. I will post the link in the description below the channel. I will also post a link to the Inktense and the Koi coloring brush pen. Now, just remember with Inktense or with any wet medium, you are going to bleed through the page. And of course, tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, next Monday, we will work on the page behind the one we did today. We'll work on this page here, and we will fix this. As you can see, there is a bit of bleed through in those brighter colors. We are going to fix that. So stay tuned for that. Of course, every Monday is Matters Monday. If you join me in Matters Monday, please do make sure you hit that hashtag of Matters Monday 2022 so that I can see your works of art. If you are not on Instagram, you can also do so in Facebook and I will see it. If you're not on Facebook, but you still want me to see your work, there is another program. It's called Discord. I do have my own Discord channel now. So if you want to join me over in Discord and discuss some of these art matters, colorings, just hang out and have conversations and color with like-minded people, please feel free to do so. Jump into the Discord and hang out. We do have some rules and regulations. However, there is no filters required. So if you do get offended easily by cuss words and stuff like that, there is another channel that is available to you. It is called Filters Required, and you can hang out in there. I don't suppress the any person's ability to state their mind and their selves. However, what happens in Discord stays in Discord, and I will take offense if things get out, of course. Um, yeah, so otherwise, if you want to post in there, there's a wonderful page for works in progress, and there's also a wonderful page just for finished works, so your finished works don't get lost as easily as in Facebook. So, yeah. With that, guys, I would like to say thank you all very much for watching, for hanging out. Always remember that every idea is a good idea. Sometimes they have bad consequences, but you can't tell somebody they can't have an idea. You may be able to say, okay, that might not be a good idea, but you cannot oppress somebody's creativity, somebody's art, somebody's language. You cannot suppress the ideas from coming. All right, guys, until next time, thank you all very much for watching. Always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any video a YouTube artist puts out there for you. Um, and, be kind to one another. Always remember to relax, color, and stay safe. Until next time, guys, bye bye for now.